welcome back. I am hanging out with my friend, business partner, and probably 400 other acronyms, Mr. Tek Chan. So you are into the midterm and short-term space.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, short-term and midterm management basically is what I do. Short-term is basically like Airbnbs, what most people know as
Right.
Airbnbs. Basically under 30 days as we see it. Midterms is basically that gap from 30 days out, sometimes 6 months, all the way through to a full year. And then obviously you have long-term, which is the last end, which everyone knows about, is 12 months lease, basically.
Right. Your avatar's connector?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
And I basically just connect people, as easy as it sounds. Like if Chris has
as simple as it does. It
Yeah,
really is that simple.
It is that simple. Like, you know, Chris might be like, I have a deal, I need some funding. And if I know somebody that has money, I just connect them together and you can make a little referral fee just by bringing people together and hey, makes the world go around.
That actually leads me into my next question, because I see on the message boards all the time, and Facebook, Discord, all that stuff, you know, how do connectors actually get paid?
Yeah.
So I think you just answered it there, but could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, there's so many ways to get paid. It's just basically putting yourself in between deal and really, I think Chris knows this very well, is real estate and real estate investing is really about relationships, right? Knowing
100%.
and having that network. So knowing Chris, knowing what he wants just by telling me what he needs, in essence, I just gotta go find that. And since I know certain people in certain markets or wherever they have in value, I just have to bring the two of them together. And the way to make money is either what our mentor Pace says, you wedge yourself into a deal by just getting equity or just get a referral fee. And just elaborate on equity, like say they have a big deal, say it's a 100-unit apartment complex, you know, and Chris needs another $50,000 just to finish up this deal. I have somebody that has 50K, bring him in, and I get maybe 1%, 2%, whatever is negotiated on that deal, and I get some ownership, and I don't have to use any money. So that's the greatest thing.
The middleman getting paid.
Yes.
Can't argue with that. All right, so Tek, how did you get started in all of this? I know you were a realtor to begin with. Kind of take me on that journey, if you would.
Yeah, my real estate journey started back in 05, 06, and I'll make this as short as possible. I was making money, I was teaching tennis at a country club, making good money by myself as a single person. My mom's like, you need to get into real estate, you need depreciation. And I'm like, I don't even know what the hell depreciation is, but sure, Mom. And of course, if you remember 05, 06, after that,
I got in the business at the end of 06 as it just nosedove.
yeah,
So.
and so I kind of started backwards in terms of investing. I got long-term rentals, and then started in 2017, I started learning about fixing and flipping because a buddy of mine reached out, was like, hey, let's go to this mini course someplace in DC or something or other.
And there's
Led
one
me
or
into
two
that.
of those often.
Yeah, tons of those. Learned from that, and then found Sub 2, which is about early 2020, and started wholesaling a little bit. And then what I do now, obviously, we talked about is short-term, mid-term management. I was doing some wholesaling, didn't do very well, and I pivoted to getting cash flow. When I was looking for cash flow, I found short-term management, basically, or short-term arbitrage.
Give me the 411 on that. How do you do it? What makes it work? Systems, people.
Yeah, so rental arbitrage is not new, it's been going on for a while. And the word arbitrage is basically a fancy word for what I term the spread or the delta between two things. And what rental arbitrage is, to make it simple, is I go to a landlord who has a property, has it on whatever, MLS or Zillow, whatever, for let's say $2,000, okay? I'm gonna give him his $2,000 rent, but I talk to him saying, hey, or her, not just him, I'll rent it from you for two grand, so long as you allow me to basically sublease it and do whatever I want on the back end. I tell them, like, I'm probably gonna put it on Airbnb and VRBO, which I do, and other sites like that. And then I go ahead and furnish it, and then I basically rent it up for a higher amount. So 2,000 here, and maybe I can rent it for like 5,000 here. Now I'm not making the 3,000. This is where people get kind of confused. I wanna make sure everyone understands this. I have expenses. I have the 2,000 a month rent, but I also have to pay for all the different utilities, electric, water, gas, maybe trash, definitely internet. You need to have that nowadays.
Gotta have internet.
Yeah, and landscaping, pest control. If you have a pool, you have pool maintenance, hot tub maintenance. There's a lot of other things, so maybe it's another $1,000. I usually am saying for most of the houses I do between $600 to $800, but I don't have pools. So if you have more stuff, obviously it's more costs, so your cash flow is a little less. So. That's pretty much what rental arbitrage is.
How do you implement it? What works for you? What systems do you have in place to keep track of all of the expenses, putting tenants in, and obviously keeping the current owner happy?
Yeah, I mean, keeping the owner happy in terms of like, I basically have a property management software. Like there's a bunch of different ones. I use one called IGMS. There's Hospitable and other ones. IGMS basically has all of this linked up, and I automate it by using like guest messages, what we call them. So like someone from Airbnb basically inquires about the property, like is it available at this date? I get a message and then I automatically set it. It's like I could be at this conference right now. I don't have to pick my phone because what Airbnb focuses on, most of these, what they call OTAs, actually it stands for, but these sites like VRBO, Booking.com, Airbnb, their algorithm ranks you on how fast you react to the first inquiry. First, like, oh, hey, Mary wants to book your place for 2 nights or 10 days, whatever. So you want to get to that message within the first minute, is what they tell you. So I can't obviously get to it all the time.
It's no different than any other lead anywhere.
Pretty much,
It's
right.
the instant
So,
gratification.
Yep.
Just has to be
Yeah.
hit right.
And you want to
then
get,
and
obviously, they're looking for other places too at the same time. So you
right,
get the
so you
message
want to
back,
get to them
boom.
as quick as
Yeah,
possible.
my message goes in within the first minute. It's set up that way. Just all you need to do is just reply back within the first minute. So it's a lot of automations like that, and then you can ask them other questions. They might have other questions for us, like, hey, does your house have how many beds? Where are the bedrooms? And all sorts of things. And that's where you can't automate because some of those questions aren't always
Right.
standard questions, right? You know, how many bathrooms do you have? It's on there, but most people don't read. Sorry, not to be mean.
They don't.
They don't read past like, oh, your house is here.
I'm guilty of that also. But
And they look at the pictures, and that's a very important part of the listings. Pictures, you gotta get professional photos. If you don't, you're probably gonna lose. And then there's a software called, I use Price Labs for the pricing. So that way, like most people when they were doing Airbnbs, they would just go in and go $100 for every weekday from Sunday through Thursday, or the weekdays. And Friday and Saturday, they would bump it up to 150. So that's the normal people. That's like what we call like basic standard, like 50 percentile, just landlords or Airbnb hosts. To optimize that pricing, we have software like Price Labs I use, which we link up to Airbnb and to that property management software. So it just basically tracks when maybe an event's happening. Let's say it's 4th of July, right? Everyone has 4th of July. Maybe it's in DC where we are here, and people are traveling and they know it's already a huge event. They're gonna jack the price up. The system already knows.
Right, makes
Maybe
sense.
even not even like that. You can think about a festival, these giant music festivals.
I
It's coming
didn't
in
even think
town.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Maybe it's like is it the Austin City Limits thing, whatever. I don't know what they have down there, but that music festival, and then like, oh, that weekend they're going to be here. We're going to raise the prices up for that whole week, so
Right.
that way you optimize your price, and then so basically every day, that pricing could be like Monday could be like $100, second day, Tuesday could be like $150, Wednesday could be like $125, $128. It's all over the place. It's not consistent, but it optimizes your price, and you're like, well, why do I need that? Because you'll make more money that way.
Makes
In
sense.
general, you'll make more money that way.
And that's honestly kind of the name of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's investing, so you're trying to make money, but a lot of software, and it's funny because you and I have talked about this. I have everything linked on my phone. I have properties in Hawaii, 6 hours difference, and everything is linked on my phone. I can do everything on my phone, so you can do this business anywhere.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for your time, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Thanks
Thanks,
it. Thanks for watching, tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.